Problem here is the solution. What is the solution to the Ryder Cup? Well, you have to understand that when we played the Ryder Cup back in the 60s and the 70s, they always had 5 players that could compete with us, but they couldn't compete with our bottom 7. And now we can't compete with their bottom 7. In other words, they've got the superstars, but we can't compete down bottom. What do? What's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is, Dave, and I hope Commissioner Fincham is listening, and I hope the board is listening to this also, is that we don't let the young players come in and play. That's why we don't have any winners that are in their 20s. We've got thousands of kids out there that are playing the Nike Tour, the Hooters Tour, all these tours that can play a hell of a lot better than some of these guys that played on the Ryder Cup. So what's the solution? The solution is you've got to stop this 125 exempt. You've got to move this thing down to 90, 85 exempt players. Give the rest of it to the... I'm going to tell you something. If I was a qualifier and I qualified for 35th place and they told me that I couldn't play until the Honda or something, I'd go to court. I'd sue them. How can you give somebody a card when he qualifies and he can't play? You have 125 exempt players. You only carry a field of 144, and then you've got all the invitees and stuff, and out of the qualifying group there's 35 guys, only about 6 or 8 get into the tournaments on the West Coast. It's ridiculous. Don't drop that thing. It was top 60 when I was a professional. Then they moved it to 125. And I know who moved it to 125, and you know who had that done, simply because they couldn't get in the top 60. And what happens is you've got all these players that are hanging on that are 85th, 90th, 120th, 117th, and they're not winning any tournaments. And then the younger generation can't get in there.
They can't learn how to win that.
No, please, I'm pleading to the board of the PGA. Drop this thing down to 90 and let these young players come in here. We've got some great players out there that are playing the nationwide tour that should be on this tour, and I guarantee you would produce. If you don't do that, then I would make Tiger Woods the captain, playing captain, and 30 days before the Ryder Cup, I'd say, pick 11 and go get them, baby.